What is ethics? We are starting from the beginning. From the beginning. Is that the first slide? Okay, let's leave the. Look at it. At the end of this section, every one of us will know what the public service rules and explain the necessity of work ethics. Every work has its own ethics, has its own philosophy. There are reasons why you are here. There are reasons why you have chosen to work in court of appeal. Then you have to outline the various ethical rules and values that are acceptable by this management. Then we have to apply measures that if you violate these ethical rules, what will happen to you? We have to look at it. Then list your contribution and the contribution of your employer towards achieving the mandate of the court. This is what we want to do here, because everybody is accountable. Everybody must give account of his stewardship. So, slide, madam. What is ethics? Look at it. According to Lexicon Webster Dictionary of English language, it defines ethics as system of dealing with moral philosophy. Ethics means system of dealing with moral philosophy, which studies the principles which determines rightness and or wrongness of particular actions or activities that human beings engage in on a daily basis. From your parents. The first moral learning is from your parents, especially mothers. If you watch a baby, while a baby is sucking, the baby will be looking straight to the face of the woman. And when the baby is to talk, he will talk in the language of the woman. That's why they say mother's tongue. Because at that point, the mother is the one that is introducing to that baby ethical values before the father will join. And when that value is strong at the level of your parents, then you lay a foundation that when you now go out to the larger society, they will tell you that, oh, this person from which parents does he come from? Oh, that means the parents don't train him. It's indiscipline. They pass blames to your parents because that is the first point of call. That is the first situation you find yourself to be brought or to be introduced to ethical values. So what we are saying here, we have we have passed through. So what? Usually it comes from your parents. That's where we are. From your parents, and I say particularly your mother. When a mother is sad, while the baby is sucking, you see the baby will not suck well. But where the woman is happy, you see through them they communicate. So that is where we are going. Then the next one is your religion. Your religion plays a very good role in introducing to you ethical principles that the society agrees with. I'm not talking of churches, mosques of today, but of the past. You look unto them as God. You have not seen God one time, nobody. But we see them as representative of God. And they introduce to us ethical principles. The third one is schools. When you get to school, you are going to be taught how you behave. But today we are not seeing it again. But the house is a difficult place to place a child now. But in those days, your teachers play a lot of role. I could remember when we were in primary school, at the assembly, when we say the prayer, they will sing. And the first song is telling us what we should do, what will become of you. And the first subject of the day from Monday to Friday is moral instructions. Moral instructions, which will be introduced to you until you leave the school. And when you see a child that wants to become deviant, they will disgrace him at the assembly. But all these are absent now. Then the last one is peers, and is the most dangerous group that can introduce to you anything. If the moral instruction is not strong from your parents, from the religion you practice, from the school you attended, then your group, your peers, which introduce you to their own principles. That is why today a child may not be smoking, but by the time he gets to the university, he will be taking drugs. And the parents will not know. It is because he has no strong moral instructions from home. Even it has cascaded to the secondary school, where you have courtist members. Courtism is now in secondary school. And it's because of the failure, number one, of the family. The family is disintegrated. In the past, the father is the head of the family and is the one that dictates a lot. The mother now listens to the instructions of the father and inculcates that to the children. But today, mother is living away. Single parent, we have it. The woman will leave the house and will not come back until 8 o'clock. Who is instructing the child? The same thing, even where there is no disintegration. Father leave in the morning, he will now, even some parents, some children don't know their father until weekend. You can see what is happening to the society. Now, what we are saying in essence is that when you now do all this, the concept of the act of ethics is fairness. That is the concept. Fairness, trust. When you trust your parents, your teachers, your religious teachers, that they are putting the right thing to you, you are bound to obey it. Respect. You respect what they are saying, and you respect them. Compassion and cooperation. You have compassion that I will be a good person. When you join service, you say, oh, I want to become chief registrar. You can only become chief registrar not by academics, but by good conduct. If you are very brilliant and your conduct is bad, you can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere. That is the truth I'm telling you. I've seen somebody who is so brilliant and crashed. He crashed because he was not disciplined. He could not discipline himself in terms of trust. Honesty is lacking. Slide. What is work ethics? Work ethics are just principles, moral principle and standard of behavior that is laid down values regarding the proper conduct in a workplace. Every society, as I said earlier, has laid down certain standard of behavior that anybody that wants to join this society, this place, for instance, you want to become a lawyer, you want to become you are a lawyer, you want to now be appointed as a judge. I have a friend, he's a judge now in Lagos State. But when the wife was in London, Fashola could not appoint him as a judge. They said a judge should be somebody who has a wife at home. And immediately he brought the wife, he asked her to come back. He was appointed. And what happens? Social life was reduced immediately. Standard, that is the standard for that profession. You cannot see a judge in a party spraying or drunk. Are you saying they don't take alcohol? They take inside their bedroom. You get it? You must. That is the standard, and every society has is that. That is a work ethics. It's a laid down values or principles, which is regarded as the proper way to behave in the civil service. Somebody talk about dressing code. Yes, in fact, Code of Bureau has issued a circular one time on how we should dress. When we join service as administrative officer, you dress in suit. But later they said, okay, Friday, let's leave Friday for you to put on native. You cannot be a lawyer, for example, in the Ministry of Justice, and within the office you are wearing slippers. You cannot be administrative officer, you now wear bedroom slippers, you drop your shoe. You cannot be called by a director and you do not put proper dress. Because getting there, they say, oh yeah, join me, we are going to Villa. So you must be properly dressed. So dressing code is very important as work ethics. Now, code of ethics, they are wrote down or wrote out in a booklet called Code of Civil Service Handbook. Chapter 6 of the Civil Service Handbook, if you buy it, if you go to the vendor there, they can give you a copy. You see that the code of ethics expected of you have been written down. Some of them are not communicated to you when you join service, like this dressing code, for example. When we join service, nobody tells you that you must be in suit. But the first day you dress without proper dressing, you'll be asked to go home. Go home and dress well and come back. So that means it has been inculcated to you. And it has been told. Then nobody will say, this is how you dress. But by the time you see them correcting the way you dress, there was a time when a lady dressed in such a manner that underneath was showing. She was living in Itire and we were at Federal Secretary Ikoyi. She was asked to go home and report back before 3 o'clock. We had to contribute money for her to quickly go. But she never dressed that way again. You get what I'm saying? So it may be written and it may not be written. It may be communicated to you and it may not be communicated. So that's where I'm going. Now look at them. Number one, discipline. Discipline. I will explain in the next slide what can make you to be disciplined. Another one is integrity and moral rectitude. Integrity. As a public servant, you have integrity. In fact, in those days, have you seen a judge that will say somebody, whether it is a party you have sympathy for or not, as long as that party wins election, you are to serve that. That is why the civil service is an organ of government that enjoys continuity of existence. Soldier go, soldier come, barrack remains. Political administration will go, but the civil service remains. And you have a tenure for 35 years. You have to work. Within that 35 years, you have to display neutrality. You have to advise government of the day on various policy options. And you have to implement any policy they want. You have to translate their dream into tangible service. And because of that, you cannot play political game. You must be loyal and be patriotic. Be loyal, one, to your boss. Why must you be loyal to your boss? To make him to achieve the mandate of that office. Because your office has a mandate, what is expected. You must be patriotic, that is, you place Nigeria above any interest. If you look at those in Europe, if you see them athletes, footballers, all of them into sports, you see the energy in them to do it. But in our own case, they say, I can't die for Nigeria. No, it's not their own case. They can die because of their country. And when they win laurels, you see them with the flag. They will wrap themselves in the flag. And that will show patriotism. So you must place this country above your ethnic group, community or group, above your any interest at all. So in that case, Nigeria will move forward. We are not patriotic. Nigerians, we are not patriotic. If we are patriotic, we will not collude with a foreigner to defraud Nigeria. Many people that defraud Nigeria, especially Nepalese, Asians, any country they find themselves, you see the way they come to Nigeria today. There must be reason behind it, and Nigerians are behind it. You must display patriotism. Then modesty. Live a modest life. Don't live above your income. Don't live above your income. I could remember in those days when we have opportunity in training. That time we were moving from one center to the other under our ministry. If you don't, within a month we traveled twice or so. One man called me. He said, Mr. Tony, please don't base your responsibility at home on this money. Base your responsibility on your salary. Any money coming to you which is not your salary, don't put your responsibility around it. If you look at it, you rent a house above your income, you send your children to school above your income. When those things stop, you are in trouble. I looked at the man like this. He said, these things are just there for you for opportunity. And you can use it for any other thing. But your responsibility as a man, as an husband, should not be based on this. Which is true. It got a time more than after 1.5 years. Administration changed. Reality came to be. Then tax and industry. You really require tax to work. You see, when you are talking about sports, many sports are won before the day of the event. Election, many elections are won before the day of election. That means you have to be tactical. That will destabilize your opponents. Now, as in the office, why do you need tax? Tax is to maneuver, to manage difficult situation. For instance, your boss say, anybody that comes here, say, I'm not around, and is inside with a woman. You may be a girlfriend, I don't know. Tactically, he has gone out. Son is your boss. Son is your boss. He may not be your boss directly, but one time he may be your boss directly. He will revisit your action. That is a problem. Then when you are saying industry means hard work with result. Not every hard work brings result. Somebody may be hardworking, it may not generate any result. For example, you have a house girl who will always say, it's busy for you to be seen that you are busy. But it asks the person, what is the outcome of this work? Nothing. So it's hard work with result. And that is industry. Madam. Now, look at it. Tidiness in work environment and decency in dressing. Your work environment must be tidy. Keep it tidy. Many people believe that when the cleaner does not come, you don't need to trash out the dirt in the dustbin. You can take it and empty it and return it back to your office. When you can't see your cleaner, or your cleaner does not come to work, you can take the brush and put it and sit down comfortably. So tidiness does not make only that. Then clear your table at any given time. Then probity and accountability. We are coming back carefully. Probity is that you are to be examined. Somebody will examine your work. And who is that? Your supervisor will now determine whether your work is good to be commendable, or to be commended for promotion. Now, accountability. When we are looking at the 7 principles of accountability, you now discover that every one of us is accountable. Mr. President and the last person is accountable because we hold stewardship. And somebody has put us in our position as trust, a position of trust. And at the end of the day, you will give account to such person. Then, promptness in service delivery. The main responsibility of the public service, which is called government work, is to deliver services. Judiciary is to deliver services in terms of justice, fairness, equity. In terms of that is their own role. Ministry of Works is to ensure that we have good roads. Ministry of Water Resources is to give everybody portable water for us to drink. Ministry of Power is to give us energy. That is the main duty, the primary duty of the public service. And who are we delivering it to the public? And that is why they call us public servants. Why are we servants? Because they pay our salaries. How do they pay our salary? Don't use your phone, please. Don't use your phone. In my class, don't use your phone. Drop it. My own is on the table. So, they call you, come go out and answer your call. No, don't need it. Listen. Because when you record it, you forget it. You forget it. You get it now. So what am I saying? Why are we called servants? Because they pay our salaries by what method? By paying tax. In some countries, when you evade tax, you go to jail. Because, like Britain, they don't have resources like Nigeria, as we are blessed. But they do a lot. They do a lot through taxes. In Spain, Messi violated it. He was given administrative jail. The same thing Ronaldo. He ran out of the place to relocate. Of delay is very, very important. Delay is dangerous. And it is criminal. It is criminal in the sense that when a file is on your table, the file is symbolizing a person. Because there must be a person who will benefit from what the action you have to take. And what the file is telling you may not hear is a deal with me. Treat. For every delay, you could cause a lot of harm. For example, I have retired. If there is a payment for me as a pensioner, and somebody is sitting on it, how long will a file be on your table? 24 hours. After 24 hours is delay. Then what do you do? If a file gets to your table and you don't know how to deal with it, go back to the officer and let the officer tell you what to do. Or consult with your colleagues. Maybe they have done it before, they can lead. In fact, when you clear your table, your mind is at rest. That is the secret. When you clear every work on the table, if it will make you to do overtime, it means your mind is at rest. But I know of one man. People really notice that the man is a custodian of rules and knowledge. But this is a man, when he retired, they found files that have slept in his office for 3 years. The man will put kola nut here and will put viral like that and sleep off. The man will always go on with sack of files. You don't need it. What do? Delegate. Delegate responsibility. If they don't know it, teach them. Must they know all? That is why our guy will say, give me a draft letter. Give me a draft. He's teaching, he's training. And that training is more than the classroom training we are here for almost 8 hours now. That training, that our guy will say, give me a draft letter. Do this. When you do it wrong, he will correct you. It's perfect training. And we call it mentoring. And the essence of this mentoring is for succession. So when the boss is not there, you are there. If you see a boss that cannot leave the office because he has no person to take over, is a weak person. Is a bad officer. If you see the person in government, while leaving the power, he cannot leave it to the right person to continue the legacy. It's a failure. I was on level 9. I was acting for level 15. My boss. How? Every time we work, he said, do your work. I won't do it for you.